Saw some videos on aging people in Photoshop, and the methods were pretty good, but I thought they were maybe a little bit complicated, and I kind of played around with it and found a method that I kind of liked a little bit better, so I'm just going to show you that real quick. And I'm borrowing some ideas of some other videos I've learned. So first off, just find some good source photos. I'm using Harrison Ford. I'm actually going to end up probably using multiple ones. You copy and paste it. And the first thing you want to do is you want to just get it all aligned so that you know, the features are in the same area. And it's okay if it's not exact or if only some parts match, because you can actually use multiple photos. So and it's okay to distort it and stuff, because I'm just going to kind of use the wrinkles around some of the parts of the face here. You want it to be at 100% opacity, and then you want to go ahead and just change this to overlay. And you'll notice that it gets really saturated. So what I did is I take this layer and I just desaturate it. And desaturate, and you end up with this, which looks pretty weird, looks kind of ghostly. So if you go into your brightness, you can just kind of pull the brightness down until it's a little bit less bright there. So it's still probably a little too much. It's still going to look a little weird for now, but the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a mask on this layer and bucket fill it black. Come in with a white pen, probably at about 15–20% opacity, and I'm sorry, paintbrush, and I'm just gonna slowly just kind of add in some of those features that we just erased. And I'm gonna be careful to make sure I leave my own mouth, and some of them are a little bit too red, and I could either try to brighten up the image itself, or I'm probably just gonna end up coming back and just kind of decreasing those. So I go back in with some black paint, and I just kind of, the areas that are just too much, like there, I'm just going to kind of pull those down. It doesn't really look like I've done a lot so far, and I'm trying to keep it pretty subtle on purpose, but you'll notice when I turn off this layer, it's a pretty big difference. What I would then do is I would go in and I would get some more photos of you know, Harrison Ford or whoever, and just keep adding wrinkles in certain areas. So like if I wanted the cheeks or whatever, the chin right now, to be wrinkly, I would just go in and I'd move that into position and I'd keep doing it. I'm going to save some time right now and not do that, but I should do a little bit more, I think, right here, just to kind of pull that in. There we go. And if it's overdone, just go in with black and you can just kind of tone it down a little bit. I'm keeping my brush at a low opacity so I can just continue to work in layers. The next thing that I would do is go in and maybe add some white hair. And I found that, sorry, some gray hair. I found that the easiest way for me was just full opacity brush, just to come in. And I would normally take the time to do this more carefully, but, and then just erase the areas that don't quite work. And then just change the mode here to soft light. And taking the time to, you know, tinker with that. And then you can adjust the opacity and stuff if you feel like it's a little bit too much. So we go from just kind of a nice subtle gray look to it. Another thing you can do is you can, I'm going to duplicate my background because we don't want to ever mess with the original background. I'm going to go into my filters, and I'm going to use one called Liquify. And I'm just going to pull down some of my skin, and maybe that's a little too much. Like underneath the eyes, maybe make the nose just a little bit bigger, just to kind of simulate the effects of stretching of skin of age. Kind of pull my cheeks down a little bit and stretch my ears out, because they do tend to get a little bit longer. And maybe even above my eyes, just kind of sag them. Ooh, that was a bit much. Just a smidge. Still too much. There we go. All right. So with very little effort, I'll go ahead and just pull this one on top so you can see. This is our before, and that's our after. And, you know, if you want to go even older, just keep getting different photos and keep adding, like, that are really, really wrinkly, and just keep adding that on. You do tend to get kind of splotchiness with the colors and stuff, and there's ways to fix that. But if you're a beginner in Photoshop and you just kind of want to play around, this is, in my opinion, a really simple way to get pretty good results. I know I went pretty fast, but I only have 10 minutes on my my capture thing right now. So hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for watching.